What's up, Shady Sports Network? I'm back here with my boy Victor. Victor, how you doing today, man?
I'm great, Chris. How you doing? Nice to be on board. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So, you just wrapped up your season with the Tulsa Oilers, first year expansion team. How do you feel you personally did?
I feel like I did really well. There's a couple of things that I'd like to correct, but that's just the nature of the business. Onward and upward, move forward from there. I think we have a good relationship, and my performance was at a high level. So yeah, I'm excited for what the future holds.
For sure. So now you just hit the off season as of, I would want to say, like a couple days ago. What has the first couple of days of the off season been like for you?
They've been a little erratic. Just getting back into the groove of things as far as your normal life is concerned. People don't take that into account. It's not really that much of a huge change for me because it's football 24/7. But just like the time change is really what gets with you because I'm on the West Coast now.
For sure, yeah. You got that, 2-hour time difference?
It's a 2-hour time difference, yes. We're in Tulsa, yes.
Yeah. So, off season, you're constantly training, getting your body right. Is there any time when you relax? What are some of your hobbies that you are involved in?
Since I've been on the West Coast, I like going to the beach. I've picked up surfing a little bit. I tend to do anything athletic, so I try to get more cardio in towards the afternoon and the evening. I play basketball. That's the New York in me. We always play basketball no matter what. The East Coast, how it goes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I haven't really been doing much. I try to focus on what I'm training with. So, I usually call it early nights, early mornings. And, I watch Netflix. I play Call of Duty, try to do things to keep me out of trouble.
Okay. So, West Coast, man, you're from New York. How different is it out west?
It's night and day. It's one of the things that in New York, the weather is a lot more humid, especially around this time of year. And obviously you get the snow. I haven't seen any snow in California since I've been here, but I know that it's up in the mountains. And in San Diego, especially, it's always 70 and sunny. So can't beat that.
When you go play basketball, do you just go to like one-on-ones or you just go to the park or something?
I would go to Lifetime Fitness, or I'll go to see if anybody's out on the courts, just like out by the beach and stuff like that. Sometimes you just catch people shooting around. So it just depends on what type of day it is. If it's too hot, I'm going to try to stay indoors. And if it's nice outside, then hey, why not shoot by the beach, right?
That's awesome. So since the last time we talked, which was, I want to say 5 days ago, the AFL came out with a huge announcement about how they are bringing 16 teams. What are your thoughts about the AFL coming back?
I love to see it. More opportunity for all of us in general. The more opportunity, the better. You got a lot of talented football players that don't make it to the NFL for whatever reason, and it's a good platform in order to have them showcase their talents and try to move up and see what we do. So, yeah, I love the opportunity. I'm grateful for any opportunity that comes personally my way, but speaking in generality, I'm sure that every person that you speak to will be super happy with more opportunity coming. So love to see.
Opportunity makes the world go round. So it's awesome.
Very true.
But some of your New York basketball players would die for an opportunity. If they you look at the NBA, imagine if they had other leagues in the United States. You would have Carmelo Anthony, Kemba Walker, Jeremy Lin. They all would still be playing. So.
And they would, it's one of those things they performed on a high level on the big show, so now they got that notoriety. It would also bring notoriety to other leagues that are starting up, so.
For sure. So, kind of switching it back to your high school career, how was that for you? How was your high school experience overall? And were you a multi-sport athlete in high school?
I was. I actually never played football in high school or college. I played soccer, so that's where kicking comes from. We were actually pretty good. At one point, we were ranked third in the state in our division. I played basketball. I played baseball. I played golf. I ran track. I played tennis. So I was a multi-sport athlete, indeed. And in college, I chose to play baseball. I played baseball close to my high school, D2 JUCO called SUNY Sullivan. And we actually ended up going to the Nationals as well. So there's a lot of talent up there as far as sports across the board are concerned.
For sure. SUNY Sullivan's a great school, pumps out. We got a collegiate league up here my way and pumps out a ton of talent. So, it's good to see that you play baseball. How do you think baseball has evolved as a sport over the years?
I like the fact that they implemented a speed change. At times, it would kind of drag on, especially when you have tournament days and you play 2 days. Trust me, it's a long day. So it's good that they implemented that. As far as it's concerned, like I think they changed the balls so that they fly a little bit better. So you get more home runs, but then at the same time, the pitchers have evolved to be much better now. Seeing some of these guys with like Spencer Strider, I think his name is, from Houston, and even Clayton Kershaw, Jacob deGrom, all these great pitchers that have elevated the game a little bit because of their talent. It's good to see.
So I'm aware after your JUCO experience, you kind of started a business, landscaping, which I found really interesting when you told me that. What drew you to landscaping, and is it something that you hope to pursue more in the future?
It was one of those things. It was pure happenstance, as a matter of fact. One day, I felt like I wanted to work for myself. I looked outside and wondered why I was paying my lawn care guy. So I walked up to him and said, "Hey, let me work with you for 6 months and learn the business, and then I'm going to start my own business." And he said, "Yeah, sure, come on." So he taught me a lot about landscaping and how to do it and all the in upstate New York, running my own business and being, mildly successful. So without landscaping, I would have never played football. So it's one of those things that comes full circle.
Definitely, the grass up there in New York needs a lot of work. I know how it is, man, being from Massachusetts, constantly having to cut your grass, every 3 days is crazy. So
especially in the summertime, because it grows and gets a lot of water there. So yeah, 100%.
It's like you have one lawn guy doing the whole street, and like he'll spend like an hour for your lawn, and like 2 days later, it's like back up again. So it's a lot of work for sure. But
good business to be in.
For sure. Oh yeah, definitely. How did you translate your work habits from landscaping to football?
That's an interesting question. It's one of those things when you work for yourself, you're in charge of everything. So you got to make sure that everything's operating smoothly in order to be, monetarily efficient. If you can apply that to football in the same mindset, but a different direction and work hard, you're going to be successful. Somebody once told me, I said, "Man, how do I get rich like you?" He said, "Vic, I work every day, dude." I said, "Okay." So that was, it was pretty simple, but at the same time, it was good advice because if you just go to work every day, you get 1% better each and every day. Before you know it, in a year, you're 365% better. So that's generally how you attack things. You don't get involved in the results, you get involved in the process. So, yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that you say that, because college football, the whole NIL deal and stuff. Do you think it's important for athletes I know money is important and everything, but not necessarily chase the money, but more chase the dream, if you know what I'm saying?
I think what athletes need to do is realize that money isn't the obtainable object. It should be more used as a tool to get what you need and to take care of things so that you can put your focus elsewhere. Time is the ultimate investment that we have. So it just depends really on how you put your time. But if all these NIL deals, man, I wish we had them when I was growing up, because I would have taken complete advantage of it. If I fully in support of athletes getting paid off their likeness and what they bring to organizations. I just hope that, they're not putting a lot of money into these young kids' hands and having them not realize what they can do with it, So I think that needs to be attacked more, So, but I think it's a great idea.
And one thing I find really interesting, because in the IFL, there was a player on the Nighthawks named Robert Kabichi, former first-round pick. Yep. His net worth is over $6 million, but he chose to come and play to, continue to chase his dream. And I think that would be so good if we had that more for young athletes for sure.
Oh, 100%.
So I know the IFL is headed into the playoffs this week. Are you going to be watching?
100%. Of course I am. I'm very interested. I was in Tucson, so I'm interested to see how my boys do out there. Arizona looks good. And surprisingly, Sioux Falls has been coming into a run of late. So let's see what they do as well.
Sioux Falls are not beating my Mass Pirates. They're
No,
not, no, they can't play with us.
no.
They got it. Who do you got winning the whole thing?
That's a tough question. It just depends on who advances. I think everybody has a fair chance. I mean, that's football. It just depends on who shows up. But if I was to put my money, I mean, I can't go against my old friends in Tucson and everything like that. I'd love to see them get it. They got a tough test with Bay Area this week. They also have a good chance. Massachusetts has a good chance. So does Arizona. So we'll just see what happens. How it plays out.
So early in the season, like you said, even with the Tucson Sugar Skulls, Tucson is a very unique organization, because Arizona head coach Kevin Guy is involved with that organization. His wife owns it, and they've kind of grown the game throughout the league. How would Tucson run as an organization?
Tucson was great, honestly. It was one of those things. They have everything you need. They take care of the players. They look out. They do things very professionally. I don't really have a bad thing to say about Tucson. So, yeah, I wish them the best of success. And, if I think I was going to say to one of the guys that I used to play with in Tucson that if they end up beating Bay Area, then I'm going to go ahead and drive out there, either Arizona or Northern Arizona, and see them play. So it'd be good to catch up with them, see the success as they move forward.
That's really good to hear because you kind of been a couple places in your career. How did you originally get started with arena football?
I went to walk on to Coastal Carolina University. I was looking for a scholarship when I first started kicking, and they didn't give me one. So I walked out of there disappointed, but I looked down and I saw an arena football flyer. I ended up going to the workout and making the team. So the rest took its course and history played out.
I think I'm a huge fan of arena football. I think opportunities, like we said earlier, are really important. And I think I wish some of these guys in the transfer portal could come just straight to arena. I was talking to someone about this. Do you think we'll ever get to the point? I know the XFL and USFL are around, but do you think we'll get to the point where we see guys from the IFL going straight to the NFL?
I think that you've seen a couple of guys, specifically like quarterbacks and O linemen, go straight from the arena leagues to the NFL, but only as like mini camp invites or summer league, training as far as that's concerned. I think the quarterback Daquan Neal from Las Vegas ended up going to the Colts, correct, if I'm not mistaken. And a quarterback I played with, his name was David Olson. I played with him in Myrtle Beach, and he ended up going to the Ravens as well, but only for summer camp invites. And I think while it presents an opportunity, it's all about how the scouts feel. It's a different game, so the angles are different. The throwing lanes are different, stuff like that for quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, etc. So I think that arena does what it needs to do in order to transition us outside before we make it to the big stage. But if there's somebody talented enough, there's a whole bunch of talented guys in arena football that could play at the NFL level. It's just about, again, like you said, an opportunity. So it'd be nice to see.
So going into next season, I know you're keeping your options open. What would you like to see in your next team, whether it be indoor or outdoor?
What would I like to see, or what would they like? I'm sorry.
No, what would you like to see?
Honestly, just opportunity to win, an opportunity to be successful at my craft. People take specialists sometimes a different way, as far as like, oh, they're only a kicker, this and that, whatever the case may be. But the name of the game is football, and I firmly believe that if you have a good kicker, then your quarterback's that much better. I mean, 3 points is better than none, and 7 points is better than 6. So, except for in Connor Mangan's case, it's 8 points because he hits the drop kick every time. So,
Man, so we played them, and that's his first game, and he just started drop kicking. I knew that was a rule, but I'm like, why do you think more kickers don't try to do the drop kick?
Just because of the fact that we try to be so consistent at what we do with kicking a football. It takes such a precise amount of focus as it is. Connor happens to have a rugby background, from what I understand. So I think they drop kick in rugby, and he was probably really good at the time at it. So he translated that to indoor and found success, and good for him.
Is the drop kick similar to the? Is it so it has to go right down the middle? Does it count as a field goal if you miss?
I think it counts as a missed opportunity to drop kick.
Okay, so it's like they have a different stats for that.
Yeah.
That's a good opportunity. No, I never knew about that rule till I watched the game, and I'm like, man, this makes indoor ball, really unique. With one of the unique rules I find is the deuce rule. When the ball goes. Do you think the NFL should implement a rule like that?
I would love to see it, honestly, because then it puts so much more of a value on the kicking position. Again, the name of the game is football. It's not catch. It's not run. It's not throw ball or run ball. It's football, because the play is ultimately started and ended by kicking a football. So it's very important. And I think if they were to implement that, it would change the nature of games and how strategies. It'd be an advancement in the game, kind of like baseball did with speeding it up and stuff like that. So I would love to see it.
That's a great point. So my last couple questions for you: where do you see yourself both in your personal life and in football in the next, let's say 1 to 2 years?
I will still be playing, God willing. It's one of those things. I maintain my body pretty well. I take care of it. I work hard. So as long as I'm presented with the proper opportunity, I'm going to keep playing until the wheels fall off. And in my personal life, I see myself eventually getting into real estate. It's something that when I find where I want to settle, that's where I'll pursue it at. But as far as it goes right now, I work at a yoga studio. I work the front desk, but they do breath work and cold plunging. So it kind of kills two birds with one stone, because I get my recovery covered. So, it takes care of that aspect of it in the off season, and I make a little bit of money on the side. So it's good. It's fun. I enjoy what I do. I train every day, and I just want to be the best that I could possibly be for an organization. I would love to be outdoors. But if I'm indoors, then, Tulsa calls my name. I'm right back there. I love the fans. I love the coaches. I love the players, so just depends on how it plays out.
Man, I don't know a better location to settle in than San Diego. I think that's pretty top tier, but I think San Diego is one of the nicest places, in the United States.
It's beautiful. San Diego's beautiful. The weather is 67 and sunny every single day. You can drive an hour away or 2 hours away and go snowboarding or skiing in the mountains. You can go and do anything on the water, the ocean. They have the best of everything as far as food, entertainment, and all that across the board. So yeah, I love San Diego. I've been out here for 3 years training, so I love it.
Definitely. It's a really nice place. It's a cleaner version of Miami, I like to call it. So it
I like that.
But my last question for you is, you're a guy, and you follow your dreams and you kind of go hard every day. What's your biggest piece of advice for younger people?
The biggest piece of advice for younger people is to find your passion and never stop chasing it. When I found football, I didn't realize that it was my passion. I found football at 28 years old. And the thought that everybody always tells me is, man, you think you're going to do something with it? You're old, you're out of shape, this and that. But I worked hard enough and made the right connections. to where everything took its course, and blessed with opportunity and be able to perform at a high level because of that. So never stop chasing your dreams. Don't stop working hard. Any amount of effort that you think you can put in, you can always surpass it. That's really the trick, is just being better than the last day. So that would be my advice. And to learn something about money, and to learn something about health, because those are very important in life. So
For sure. Those are really important. So is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to?
I mean, yeah, I'll give a shout out to my whole team. You know, it's good to come off that win and end the season on a dub. All my teammates, my coaches, my family, my friends, I appreciate all y'all for the support, the opportunity, and the trust in me that, you know, I'm going to be able to deliver when it comes time. So, and then a shout out to you for having me on.
Well, you know, Victor, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on the show. You know, I have a feeling that NFL kickers are going to be dropping like flies this year, you know, just for what I've been hearing. So I will be seeing you playing on Sundays real soon. So I'm ready for it. For sure.
I love the mentality. I'm going to go and apply it right now, you know, so I appreciate that. And I look forward to seeing you on Sundays as well.
Yes, sir. Hopefully one day.
Chris, thanks for having me on.
No problem. See you soon, man.
I'm a game changer.